Oh man, what a terrible way to go down. I mean, that's so Lakers season to end the year on a last second three to lose the game to Mo Harkless, which was actually like a good and a bad thing at the same time. Either way, I don't think that's anything that you guys want to talk about whatsoever. Like, at all. This is not what you guys want to talk about. This is Showtime Forum postgame. I am Greg Bergman, at Bergman Greg, on Twitter, and at ESPN. I'm saying ESPN over and over again. At Bergman Greg on Twitter, at Bergman Greg on Instagram, and let's go. I'm going to read all your stuff first before we get into this Magic Johnson stuff, which was just blew my absolute mind, and it blew everyone else's mind because it came out of freaking nowhere. So crazy that this all happened, but this is what it's going to be about. All right, I'm going to want to read a bunch of your topic, what you guys want to say first, because this is what it's about. It's about you guys talking to me, and then I'll get into all my stuff. Today was a great way to end the season. There you go, Donovan Bryant. Riley as an advisor. He's very happy in Miami. Let's talk. D10010. Yes, let's talk. Let's do a bunch here. Basketball Land B1. Mixed emotions after the loss. Absolutely. You wanted the win, but he still didn't get it. Let's see. House Sweep from D Million. VIP Kobe. There you go. Sports Beard. That was the cherry on the sundae. Anger from Alex Trin. Raider Nation, can you read the comments here? I got a whole app that's letting me actually see comments, so I'm seeing everybody's comments, I believe. Al's Acoustic, your biggest show yet. What is up, Greg? What's up, Al's Acoustic? Wow, all I have to say is wow, D Fanatic. Shane K. Lee, anything happened before the game? Oh, perfect end to the season. Leak, that's media. Yeah. Hi, Bergman. What's up, Miss J Love 100? Palinka needs to go, period. Totally agree. 100% agree with you, Nas 1781. See you later, Palinka. Jordan Fowler, what would be your first move if you're JB? If I'm Jeannie Buss, the first move is to say goodbye to Rob Pelinka. That's the end of you. We are done. We're starting from the very top and just getting rid of everything. We are cleaning house, starting at the top. Luke, you can stay. I know most of you will not like that, but Luke, you can stay. Rob, see you later. It is time for you to go. That would be my first move. Ben's Headspace, Palinka's out now too, right? I really hope so. I don't think so, but I'm not sure yet, but that's what we're all hoping. Juan Pablo Nike says, when are you going to get your first sponsor? I've had sponsors here and there, but then now it's the end of the season, so I'll have sponsors next year, and I'll have some for my Dodger stuff too. FanJuel, and hey, and if you want to give me, if you Juan Pablo Nike, if you want to be that guy, hit me up on at Bergman Greg. I'll be happy to take the sponsorship. Insane season from Miss J Love 100. Rated well. I am pissed. Magic pulled this crap. It's a good point. How can we pry West away from the Clippers? Al's Acoustic. I'm not sure if that's possible. Bring back Jerry from Caustic 187. I'm all for Luke staying. I am Sweet Sam. Good. I think a lot of people are. Can David Griffin be both the GM and president of basketball operations? He is your first phone call. The very first phone call. And I think, all right, I know a lot of you guys want to talk, but now is the time to actually say what's going on here. So, David Griffin should absolutely be your very first phone call after Magic Johnson just decided out of nowhere, didn't tell Jeannie, there was no talk about this whatsoever. This came out of nowhere that Magic Johnson just decided, I'm done. I want to have fun. That was what he said over and over again. He kept saying, like, I just want to have fun. I just want to have fun again. I'm sorry that this was a tough job for you, Magic, but this is a hard job to do. And when you're an absentee executive like he was, then yes, look, I want to be very clear when it comes to Magic Johnson here. I love Magic Johnson for what he did as a Laker, a lot of things that he's done business-wise. He's a very smart businessman. But how he handled this situation was absolutely terrible. You don't, out of nowhere, without telling your boss, without telling Jeannie Buss, your sister, and you go on and stand in front of people and say, hey, I'm out. This was too much for me. I want to be able to talk to Ben Simmons. I want to be able to say congratulations to Russell Westbrook. I want to be able to do all of these things. That's a wrong way to go about all of this. And here's the other thing. Let's just read between the lines here, all right? In his press conference, and I watched like 5 or 6 times because I wanted to be ready for this. In his press conference, he talked about how over and over again, how he kept saying, I want him to be able to run the team how it should be run. Now I was gonna ruin somebody's livelihood tomorrow, and I want him to now he can move forward and run the team as it should be run, and coach the team as it should be run. He's talking about Luke. And that means that Luke it seems like, if you really think about it, it seems like Jeannie wanted Luke to stay, and she was letting Magic do his thing. Said, fine, whatever you want. I want him to stay, but he won't let you do what you want. And then he started getting all into this, thinking like, oh, you know what? I don't want to be a part of this. And I think that's garbage for him to go about that way. If you want to leave the team, have a sit down with Jeannie Buss, talk about it, make it known, and don't come out and say like, "Oh, she had no idea," because that's garbage. That was a BS way to go about all this, and I think that was the wrong decision for him to do it that way out of nowhere. I mean, look, are we happy that Magic Johnson is no longer the president of basketball operations? He hasn't done anything correctly, so yes, he's gone, and I'm actually happy about that. But now you need to keep it moving, and Jeannie Buss now needs to do the next step. Get rid of Rob Pelinka and go through a real hiring search. And the very first person that you call is David Griffin. And that's the right call right away. He does not have a job. He is open to this job. He could be here. This is the right move for him right now to come be the Lakers GM. And it's a guy that's actually done the job before and knows what he's doing and has worked with LeBron before in Cleveland. It makes too much sense. It absolutely needs to happen. Preemie 34, Magic wanted to fire Luke. Jeannie didn't like it, and Magic said deuces. That's basically how it sounds. What up, Greg? What's up, Apex323? By the way, Apex held his word and actually said you were right, Greg, because he didn't believe me in the last post game. Miss JLev 100, yes, by firing people. Pelinka has no business having this job. Magic Johnson had no business having that job. It's a good thing that he stepped down. I wish he would have done it in a different way, but it's a good thing that he stepped down. And now you need to either Rob needs to step down as well, or you need to fire him. It is time. Let's see. We got No Hayton 32. He quit when he was out coached. He quit prematurely when he was a player. He quit on the Magic Hour. I mean, the Magic Hour was a disaster. I don't think he was a bad coach. He just, this wasn't the right spot for him. Bro Walton, and I don't blame Jamie for retaining Luke. Can't go into a crucial summer with this mess that was created by Magic and Rob. They were bad in public and had chances to say the right things. I totally agree with you. This has been the whole thing, this entire postseason, this entire postgame. We talk about it all the time. This is not a Luke Walton problem. This was a upper management problem that went all the way down. Luke had his issues, and you can say that there's a lot of things that he did wrong, but you can't show me somebody that's going to be a better head coach that's not going to leave their spot. Greg Popovich isn't leaving. Coach K isn't leaving. Guys that you would really want are not leaving their posts to come to coach the Lakers and LeBron at his 35 going into his 36-year-old season. So Luke is the right guy at this point. So I'm actually really happy that he's going to be the head coach next year. At this point, we don't know. All this. Look, I came on here ready to talk about how Luke was going to be fired tomorrow, and maybe even tonight, and everything else is just blowing up in front of our faces, and it's incredible to watch. Put it this way, I was at dinner with Michelle and her family, and this all happened. I had to stop and pull out my phone and start talking to ESPN LA and start talking to and like reading everything that's happening and watching videos in the middle of dinner because of this was just the craziest thing ever that happened. What up, Bergman from the 503? What's up, Flo? Tim X Sweat 1. So is Luke Walton staying? I think so. I don't know for sure, but I think so. Ariel Marcelli says Ty Lue, Kyrie, and Lue next year. You have Ty Lue there twice. I don't know if Lue is the right choice. I never was a big Ty Lue fan. He almost killed himself over this last one. He actually said that he had to step away from the game because it was too much pressure on him. I'm not sure if that's the right guy. Basketball and B1 says, I have a nagging suspicion Magic was nudged, if not forced out. I don't know if I don't think you can force Magic out. I think Magic has always been able to do whatever he wanted, and he kept saying over and over again, I want to have fun. I want to talk to people. This was not the job for him. He made it very, very clear that he did not want to be here. Bro, go read JB lawyer tweets. I have not seen the lawyer, Jeannie Buss's lawyer tweets, so if you can actually link them, because I can't actually see them. I could try. I don't even know who that is. I don't think Luke stays. SoCal King 32. It's possible. I think at this point, he thought he was gone, and now I think he may be staying. It's very, very up in the air here. Smith 1. Didn't LBJ leave the Cavs due to David Griffin, his emotional outburst when LeBron left Cleveland? Don't need any more drama. He is the right guy here. You need to have an experienced GM come in, president of basketball operations. It needs to be the right guy. I don't care. You need to actually, don't give some guy that's never had the job before. And look, I know a lot of people are going to be throwing out Jesse Buss and Ryan West and guys that are already within the organization and are doing a good job drafting, especially in those late round, first round and the second round picks. Jesse Buss doing a great job there. Same with Ryan West. They're doing a really good, smart job, but they've never had the job before, and I don't want to go through this all over again by giving some guy that's never had this job before and is learning under guys like, as much as Ryan West learned from probably his dad and Jerry West, he's still been underneath Rob Pelinka and Magic Johnson and Jim Buss and Mitch Kupchak, and I don't want somebody that's been right underneath them and learning from them. Give me the right guy. I don't want to go through this whole thing. Give me guys. I was talking about this with Robert Guerra on Twitter, producer RG on Twitter, and the way that he put it was the right way to put it, is that there is only about 5 guys that deserve this job as the Lakers president of basketball operations / GM, however you want to put it. And it's guys like Masai Ujiri up in Toronto, or RC Buford in San Antonio, or Daryl Morey in Houston, or Sam Presti in Oklahoma City, or Jerry West who's with the Clippers now, or David Griffin. And I don't think any of those other guys are going to be moving except David Griffin. I think that's the right move. I think that's the smartest move. A guy that's been there, done that, understands the game, is a smart basketball mind. I think that's the right guy to go here. The Couch League. Magic got LeBron. He brought that to the Lakers at the very least, right? Yes, look, Magic did that, correct. But here, I mean, you can talk about for the one good thing he did, there's a ton of failures that all last right behind it. So I think that the Couch League, there is a lot of too much negative to go about that. Carlos Esquivias on YouTube. Jeannie needs to make only one move next. She needs to name a new president of basketball ops ASAP, who is a supreme ruler of NBA knowledge and power. I mean, that's pretty much what we're talking about. And that first job, fine. Name the president of basketball operations, and that first job is to say, bye-bye, Rob Pelinka, the guy that everybody hates, the players hate, the agents hate, the other GMs hate, the other owners hate. Get rid of him. He doesn't deserve the job. He never deserved the job. It is time for him to go. And if anything, I think we've all talked about this enough. I think about enough pundits have talked about it enough. If anything, just step down just like Magic. And it's really interesting, too, because in Magic's press conference that was about 45 minutes long, which was crazy, he thanked everybody. He said, I loved working for the organization, for Jeannie Buss and the Buss kids and Luke Walton and all these other, and he started naming everybody. He talked about Linda Rambis, and he was talking about all these other people that are within the organization, and he left out one guy, Rob Pelinka. There's obviously a disconnect there. There was obviously a bad disconnect there, and that's the one guy that needs to go. It is time. It is time for him to go. Ray El Barbone, he even thanked MT. Exactly. Then the only person he didn't thank was Rob Pelinka. Out of everybody in the entire organization, that shows so much. Fish rots from the head, SoCal 09. You're absolutely right, Chanel. Right from the top. And that's what we've talked about this on postgame over and over and over again for the last 3 months at least. And we kept saying it's all about the culture. It's all about winning. And it's all about starting at the top and fixing things and making it right all the way through. This is the right way to go. He said, right, even Bill Plaschke, Caustic 187. You know, he said, thanks, Bill, even though I like giving you raft of stuff. It might have been Bill Plaschke. It might have been Bill Oram. He could have been talking about a lot of different Bills there. Your passion is flowing tonight, Craig. Robin Yeezy. I mean, look, this is a very big subject, and I've been reading and doing everything I can to understand what's happening, so I'm happy to... I love talking to all you guys here. Evan Schuster, what's up, LWOS? Great to see you talking Lakers one last time this year. Well, this is not going to be my last time. It'll be my last time of the season, but I'm going to do these live streams throughout the summer when there's big things that are happening. We're talking lottery balls. We're talking free agency. If we sign a big free agent, if you fire somebody, let's say Rob gets fired in the next like 3-4 days. Well, I'll be doing more throughout the year just randomly, and I'm also going to be doing YouTube videos that are going to be just straight videos, not so much one-on-one stuff, but this one-on-one stuff will be there as things start progressing throughout the year. Let's see. Has Lonzo officially asked for a trade? No, he has not, Carlos Esquivas. NBA Fanatic 5145. Besides Jerry West, I think D. Griff is the best. move. I think that it's just David Griffin is the best move. I don't think there is another move. And I think if Jeannie Buss loves what she's doing and loves who she is and loves this team, the first phone call she makes is to David Griffin. Like right now, just call him. This has all happened. Call David Griffin right now. Apex 323 Griffin should be the number one target. Period. Magic is a used sale snake oil salesman. Hoodie Beasley, I don't totally agree with that. I think he thanked Ray L. Barbone too from ESPN radio fans. So hey, Ray, apparently you got thanked too. I didn't get thanked, but Ray did, because the new ShowtimeForum podcast is that good with Ray L. Barbone and Del Toro. Shane K. Lee, find a GM who other GMs actually respect and will talk to. Rob is like a sketchy used car salesman. Totally agree. There's been nothing that he's done that's actually... There's stories that are coming out about Rob over and over again. Bill Oram just had a great article in The Athletic talking about how Rob Pelinka talked to Larry Nance Jr. and said to him, go get a house in LA. He asked, Larry Nance said, hey, should I get a house in LA? Am I going to be here? He said, only reason we're going to trade you is for a top 3 player in this league. He said, go get that house. Go get that house in LA, which is obviously doing really well. The housing market in LA is fantastic, right? So he says, go get that house in LA. Like a few weeks later, traded to Cleveland to dump salary with Jordan Clarkson. That's not how a GM works. Look, I get it. This is a business and things happen, but you're lying to your players to their faces. He's not a good dude. He's not somebody. I've never met him. I may have met him once or twice, but I don't know too much else about him. But everything I see is that he is just a bad dude all around. And look, granted, Larry Nance didn't end up even getting the house. He never started buying the house, and he got moved before all that, but still terrible. Ben's Headspace says, I'm thinking Jeannie should hire a consultant to help with the GM search. What do you think? Yes, 100%. They need to do this correctly. Look, they have time until July 1st. Make the right choice. And really, I think we're all in agreement here. It's David Griffin. I just can't see another way to do this. N.A. Bill Murday. Nabil Murday says, Griffin, Lou, Kyrie, LeBron, Lakers for the win. See? I mean, it's kind of what's possibly going to happen. ESPN radio fan, Daryl Morey for president. Daryl Morey just signed a new extension with the Houston Rockets. I can't see him leaving. He loves Houston. He's doing a great job in Houston. I don't think he's going to be leaving. Who else will be interested in on president? I think a lot of guys would. I mean, if you throw enough money at enough people, they will move. I don't have any inside sources. This is just totally off the top of my head. Masai Ujiri is in Toronto. He already left to Denver. He did a good job in Denver. Then he went up to Toronto, and he's doing a fantastic job in Toronto. If you throw enough money at Masai Ujiri, I could see him moving. I mean, I don't know. I don't have anything inside in on that, but that's basically how I'm feeling about it. I think that's a very real possibility. Okay, let's see. John Cena DuPont on YouTube says, I've heard you can hear Pelinka slithering around at Staples Center. Pretty much. Ask anybody. He is a snake. That is the type of guy he is. And this is the problem, too, is that guys like you and I, John Cena DuPont, and me, and everybody else, who we got here? Pro Expert Gamer, say everybody, I don't care, Rael Barbone, Caustic 187, Jag Lakers for Life, JCTV Hoops, Ben's Headspace, Shane K. Lee, Jag Lakers for Life, all Raider Nation, all of these people, just SoCal 09, people, you all know how much of a snake this guy is. It makes sense for him to move. Super 247, please do not make a mistake and bring in another novice to be president. Agreed right off the bat. Need experienced people this time around. Totally with you 100%. This is the time. You just had a guy in Magic Johnson who was a face of your franchise throughout the entire Showtime era. Who was your face of your franchise outside of the Showtime era. Basically a son to Jerry Buss. To basically was a co-owner, was a coach, was a player, was embodied what it meant to be a Los Angeles Laker. And he came in and basically shut the team down into being what it is right now and is a disaster. And just from top to bottom, not getting along with Rob Pelinka, not sure what's happening with him, between him and Jeannie, sure what's happening between him and Luke. Is Luke being fired? Is he not being fired? How he's an absentee president of basketball operations. We want to remember remember Magic Johnson as who he is, as that hero, as that amazing Laker. And him stepping down is the right move for him. As much as it was a terrible way for him to do it, and just out of nowhere, in front of everybody, in the last game, all of that, this was the best move he could have possibly made, because we're all happier knowing that he is not the president of basketball operations. Now we just need to see Rob Pelinka be the next guy to move and step down. Basketball Land B1, Ujiri is the dream. I started a Kickstarter to pay his buyout. Exactly. I think that's a guy who, if you give him enough money, it's very much throw enough money at somebody, and you're the Lakers. And this is one thing. We need to be clear. This is one thing that Jeannie Buss does an excellent job at. She is fantastic. Fantastic on the business side of the Lakers. She gave everything. She gave all the basketball operations jobs to Rob Pelinka and Magic Johnson because she didn't want to do that, because she's better at the business side. So she can the money is there. They can make the money happen. If David Griffin is not the choice, throw as much as you can. At least talk to Masai Ujiri. He's in the middle of a playoff run. He's about to be in the middle of a playoff run. So maybe that's not the right choice just yet. Didn't Toronto GM lie to players on trading? Also, yes, he lied. Masai Ujiri did lie to DeMar DeRozan, said he was going to be there forever. But when you have a chance to trade for Kawhi and you're thinking that you're going to keep him, it kind of was the right move. And you're already seeing that DeMar DeRozan is a great player, can get to the basket, is a good mid-range game, but just doesn't have a three-point shot. And, I mean, look what you're seeing with Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard is a top 5 all-around player, top 2 offense and defense. He's a fantastic player. George Santiago on Twitch. First, just want to say thanks for doing this, Greg. What a season. I appreciate you being here, George. And yes, it was a hell of a season, and I really, really wish that for everybody it would have been better for us. Smith, wow, great point about Toronto's GM. Yep, it's true. Let's see. Dope Sunday. Ryan West, people, big game GM. Okay, here. We just talked about it a minute ago, but I know people are coming in and out of here, so I'll repeat myself a couple times. Ryan West is Jerry West's son, could be a good choice. However, I just don't think that it's being a young guy that's never had the job before. I don't think that's the right move. I don't think you give somebody their very first job as the Lakers head coach or Lakers GM again. Arno.ar, why are you ignoring my comments, bro? Look, I got people on 7 different platforms, so I'm not ignoring you. And if I see it, I'll go back. I'll even try and go back and see what you said, Arno.ar. Or repeat it again, because there's too many that are in between there. It moves quick. All this moves quick, and I can't find it, so you got to put it on there again, and I'll try and find it. No Hatin 32 on Instagram. Dream scenario: Jerry West as basketball ops, Ryan West as GM. Jerry is 80 years old. Yes, Jerry is 80 years old. I don't know if that's the right choice look, I would love Jerry West. All about it. I don't know if he's going to move. He's already had it. He's already had that job. He could have been here. Jeannie didn't want him before because they went with Rob and Magic. I don't know if they go back to him. Welcome back, Phil Jackson. We're not going to the triangle again. Trick Cards on Twitch. Not the season we wanted, but these post-game shows made it easier. Appreciate you, Trick Cards. Thank you for always being here. GV288. LeBron is GM, head coach, and the best. LeBron is all of those things, and that's why you don't move. That's why you don't move Luke Walton. I think it doesn't matter. He's going to run. I don't care who you put in that spot, in that head coaching position. You are not going to get. LeBron is going to do whatever LeBron wants, and that's it. Jerry West, president. David Griffin, GM. I think that's what the dream is. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think Jerry West is going to stay with the Clippers. I think he's happy there now. He's back in LA. He's done a lot. DJ Hightone, G-Berg for GM. Nope. Arno.ar. Okay, here you go, Arno.ar. JB Lawyer, which is Jeannie Buss Lawyer, tweeted out that Lakers suing Pelinka so she won't owe him $20 million for tampering case. Well, then he's done. If she's suing Rob Pelinka, then he's done. That's it. Is that a real thing? I don't know. Someone show me that, because I don't actually see that. ShowtimeForum, I know you're on here right now. Adele, if you got me, put that up on the Periscope link. I got to actually see that tweet from her lawyer, because I don't know anything about that. I don't want to start saying things that I don't know anything about. D10010, David Griffin has experience. I'm all about David Griffin being the guy. Here, all right, so ESPN Radio fan, Ryan West for assistant GM. The assistant GM right now is Jesse Buss. He's also in charge of scouting and drafting. So I mean, I can see Jesse moving up. He's the VP of basketball operations, Ryan West, assistant GM. Yeah, those are all things those all make sense. But if you're going to hire somebody, if you're going to hire a GM and a basketball operations guy, this is absolutely a David Griffin job. I can't say it enough. There was quotes from David Griffin just about a month ago or a couple of weeks ago, and everything he said was just such a smart basketball way of talking, so different than what we've been hearing here. And the Lakers, we all love the Lakers so much, and we're seeing that they've turned into just a complete and utter dumpster fire that started at the top with Pelinka and Magic. Magic now stepping down is a positive move. That is a good thing that's happening for the Lakers. Once Rob Pelinka is gone, now you go out on a real search and you find a real GM, a real president of basketball operations, and you start the culture beginning at the very, very top. It doesn't have to be an old Laker guy. That doesn't matter. I don't care that if it's Kurt Rambis like Michael Thompson wants. I don't care that as long as it's the right guy, somebody that's done it before, been there before, and can build instead of somebody that's like, I know Michael Thompson on the pregame show for the Lakers today, I was listening on my way home, was talking about how Kurt Rambis could be a good name there for the president of basketball operations job, and he used the Warriors as an example about Bob Myers being the GM up there, and he had never done it before. He stepped into a situation that was already there, that was already built for him. They were already a great team. Now you need somebody that's going to be good at building from within and keeping the young guys and building with LeBron and the young guys and bringing in superstars. So many things need to happen correctly, and I don't think that bringing in a first-time guy is the right choice. These are dark times for us fans, worse than 2002 to 2008. It's bad right now. We need Jerry West from Amazkita 427. Again, would love Jerry West. Don't see it happen. I don't see it on Twitter. Adam Streisand is her lawyer. Rael Barbone, thank you. I haven't seen it. If someone can find me the link, I can't just say things without actually having links. I need alcohol from Raider Nation. Juan Pablo Nike, how will Magic be received by the fans next season when he shows up at Staples? I think there's going to be some mixed reactions there. I think there's going to be hardcore, deep into it fans that are going to boo him, and I think we need to really take this a step back from seeing what he did and how terrible it was and the way that he did it was the wrong way to do it, and actually just think to ourselves that, hey, this is not the right way. He did the right thing. He stepped away. He did what we needed him to do. Step away and not be the basketball operations guy anymore. So you can now look at him as just as Magic Johnson, just as the amazing Laker that he was, and winning championships and playing every position and being one of the greatest point guards in history, one of the greatest Lakers in history. We can go back to looking at Magic Johnson as just that, as a mentor, as who he is, and that's what I think is the greatest thing about him doing this, although done the wrong way. Hey, Greg, we got the tweets from Devin Johnson. All right, let me see it. When you got it, put it up here on the Instagram, and on Twitter, or Periscope, whatever these things are called. Apex 323, David Griffin only GM to come from 3-1 in the finals. It's true. I mean, there was a little bit that went behind with Draymond Green getting injured, but whatever, that doesn't matter. Oh, this is gonna be dangerous. No. Oh no, I lost my Instagram because this thing got all messed up. Oh shoot. God. All right. Oh, I think I'm back. All right, I'm back. David Portillo, Magic officially quit. What does this say? Oh no, I can't move it now. That's weird. All right, this whole thing's all messed up. Oh, there it goes. Let's see. Back to David Portillo. Magic officially quit, which means the Lakers won't have to pay him out. Pelinka will not quit, and the Lakers don't want to pay him the $20 million remaining. Pelinka's already gone. Genie's working. That's what, hopefully. Yes, and sue him. In my legal opinion, from David Portillo, who's a 29-year-old non-lawyer, and I've been a lawyer for 13 years, the Lakers have enough to fire Pelinka for cause and sue him for damages, and will likely do both based on the information I've heard. Pelinka, all right, so let's see. Maybe you're reading someone else. All right, let's see. VIP Kobe 24, Magic will always be Magic. Nothing has changed in that regard. thank you, and that's how we have to do it. See Notorious, you can't boo Magic. He tried. This just isn't his lane. Agreed. He did the right thing. On YouTube, Lord Raider, Greg, I need a drink, bro. Praying that this organization gets straight because miss the Lakers being great. I think we're on that path of being great again. I think that's the way. I paused the video, Big Games, James. It was my fault. I was trying to get rid of something on the screen, and the whole thing got messed up. But we're all back now. It should be back now. Hoodie Beasley, not too late. Magic is now known for signing Lance, Rondo, and McGee. That's in your mind. You got to let that go. He stepped down. He did the right thing. Let's all remember that. He did the right thing. Trick cards. It's sad to say, but there will be young Laker fans whose only exposure to Magic is the front office mistake. Yes, it's true, and that's unfortunate. And we just got to tell them, go watch highlights. Go watch highlights of Rob Pelinka. Or, sorry, Rob Pelinka. Don't watch highlights of Rob Pelinka. That's not necessary. Of Magic Johnson. Sean Madden. So let's see. This is, I'm going to open up, I'm opening up something here from Mr. Curlis. Sean F. Mason Esquire. I don't know who he is. In my legal opinion, and I've been a lawyer for 13 years, the Lakers have enough to fire Pelinka for cause and sue him for damages, and will likely do both. Based on the information I've heard, Pelinka has done unprecedented malicious acts that have greatly harmed the Lakers. Now, I don't know who that is. If someone can tell me whose that is, please let me know. Am I back? Let's see. Your feed stopped. Oh, no, I'm knock, knock. Hey, it should be here. Oh, I turned the phone. Oops. Yeesh. Come on out of the closet. Oh, no, Instagram. I'm sorry. I'm going to end Instagram and start it over. Let me start it, share, and we're going to do another one. We're going to do another. All right, so Instagram, you should be back now. I'm sorry if I lost some of you guys. I don't know what happened. I just started it all over again. NBA Fanatic 5145. Any validity to the Kawhi opt-out, opt-in rumors this summer could open sign-and-trade options with Toronto. Yeah, I mean, I think we don't know what's happening with Kawhi. I don't think Kawhi knows what's happening with Kawhi. NBA Fanatic. I think he's just a dude that he doesn't talk to anybody. He doesn't do anything. He's just laughing. Has that weird laugh. I just don't think that. Sean Madian, lawyer. Yes, all right. So I saw that, but I don't know. Is Sean Madian the actual lawyer for Jeannie Buss? If he is, that's her lawyer. Okay, thank you. If that's who it is, that's pretty crazy. Blake's, and that means that he's done and he's gone. That's her second lawyer, Arnold at AR. Okay, thank you. If that's her second lawyer, then that means he's done. I mean, if somebody's actually coming out and saying that, he's done, and that's a good thing, and we'll all be happy. Kuzmania, thank you for telling me that's her second lawyer. Ben's Headspace. Drew West, LA. Magic was a terrific analyst for ESPN. It was obvious this wasn't going to work. It was the best thing that could have happened. Absolutely the best thing. We need to understand that. This was good for the Lakers, that he actually did the right thing and stepped down before a gigantic summer where we really need to get another star. And he probably knew that they weren't going to get somebody, or they weren't going to get who he wanted, or he didn't want to fire Luke. Whatever the reasoning may be, the right move was him stepping down, and he did it. Miss J Love 100 agreed totally. Fan Jewel for music. Do you think David Griffin would find the position attractive? Yes. I think people really need to understand this. This is very much this is still the Lakers. There's still 16 championships. You still have LeBron James. And without LeBron James, you still have a very young, good, young core. So if anybody doesn't want that job, they're crazy. It's still wanting to be here in LA. This is still the Lakers, and if you are the guy that turns the Lakers around, you're a legend for life. So to be that guy, you need to have the right attitude, the right abilities, the right mindset, and the right relationships with guys, with agents, other owners, other GMs, and players to be good at this job, and I think that's possible. And I think David Griffin could be one of those guys. Let's see. Ariel Marcelli says, that laugh was perfect, bro. Do it again. It's just oh, God, I've listened to it 1,000 times. I can't hit it just right, but I would love to. Let's see. Gorgeous Nate says, if Lonzo gets traded and we don't get Kyrie, Caruso looks ready to me. Thoughts? Look, I love what I'm seeing from Caruso. Caruso has been fantastic. I'm loving what I'm seeing from Jamario Jones. I'm loving what I'm seeing from Jonathan Williams. These are still D-League guys that are just not quite ready for the NBA at that extent. Maybe Caruso can be he's shown that he can be a number 2. Look, he's playing with a bunch of nobodies. So it's different playing with Muscala and Jamario Jones and JaVale McGee and KCP and Jonathan Williams and Mo Wagner and Isaac Bonga on the floor than it is with LeBron James, who's going to demand the ball. LeBron and what's it called? And Brandon Ingram and Kyle Kuzma and Lonzo Ball and guys that are actually going to demand the ball and need the ball in their hands to be able to perform correctly. And especially if you bring in Kyrie or somebody like that, can he play the correct way with those guys? I understand how great he looks with these D-leaguers, but again, these are D-leaguers and they're playing well and they're playing hard, and that's great. But still, that's not the right way to go just yet. Oh boy, Sober Warner. Keep KCP. Woo! That's a tough one right there. I mean, another 32 points, again, on a bad team, G League. It's just not, this is not what you're looking for here. He was terrible with everybody else. Contavious Caldwell-Pope got $30 million over 2 years with the Lakers. He's gotten his money. MG's Raider says, if the Lakers hire Griffin, can you think of how it will be looked at in the eyes of the league? I would hope that most of the people in the league would look at it and be like, that was a good hire. We will actually work with them, with David Griffin, and this is the right choice. I think so. That's a good thing. Blake St. Clair on YouTube. Lakers going through front offices like coaches. I don't know if David Griffin is the best long-term choice for after the LeBron experiment is over. I think he can build. Look, he was the one that traded for Kevin Love. He already had Andrew Wiggins in there, although that was a good move to trade Andrew Wiggins. But still, he was able to. They were building over there. They had Kyrie, and things were starting to happen there. Yes, LeBron built that all the way back up to what it was, but still, oh man. David Dash, I'm not answering your questions. That was just silly. Laker facts, high energy guys. Yes, they all are. D1000010, agents and GMs don't like Pelinka. Reason why the AD didn't go through. That's partly why. That's one of the reasons. But we're pretty sure that everything that Pelinka touches, it turns to garbage. So I'm not a fan of that whatsoever. The Griffin idea is unfortunately the best idea to me. Rob and Yeezy, and not sure if you touched on this, Greg. What chance, if any, would you give them at stealing Jerry West? This is, and I touched on it, but there's so many different things. So Jerry West, he's 80 years old. He's a consultant for the Clippers. The Clippers have a $2 billion owner. They have 2 cap spaces. They're still in LA. He was already shunned a couple times by the Lakers to come back, where he wanted to come back and they didn't want him back. So I just don't see it happening. Oh, and here we go. Kevin Meteora. Woj will finally be respectful to us if David Griffin gets hired. Sure. And by the way, I want to talk a little bit about this with Woj, by the way. Just a quick second. The things that Woj was saying on Twitter were kind of out of line. He was saying a bunch of terrible things about Magic. And look, he was right. He called him, I think he used the words cowardly. He used the words like scared. I don't remember exactly what they were. He was saying that he bailed on the team and all these things. That's not who you are, Adrian Wojnarowski. You are an insider. You are the top NBA insider. You do not come out and start kicking guys when they're down. You are an insider. You are not an analyst. We do not follow you for your analysis of things. We follow you, Adrian Wojnarowski, for the things that you say, because they're always on point. When you actually break news, you are 100% correct, and we love it. That's what we want you for. You are there to be the guy that breaks the news that to all of us. Woj bombs are things. When you start becoming an analyst, you are no longer that guy anymore, and we can no longer trust you. Pick one. You are either an analyst or you are an insider, but you can't be both. There is no way to be able to do that, because people take your word as gospel. And when you come out and say things that are slandering a guy after, even though you're right, it is the right thing that happened. Yes, he was a cowardly. It was wrong to do it that way. He did bail on the Lakers. All of that is true. But you do not switch roles into you're either an insider or an analyst, and not both. Be the insider. That's what we want. And that's all I want from him. So thank you. That was enough of that. Rents Brown, need to get David Griffin type of GM. Rod needs to go. Agreed with you all over the place. Jerry West. Let's see. Duck Woj. That's right. Magic is a coward. He was right. But still, see Notorious, Shams better than Woj. Agreed with you there. I do love him. I love when Woj breaks something, it's the right thing to do. Miss J Love 100 unfollowed Woj because of this. It was the wrong way to go about things. Woj is an ass. He has zero class. I mean, this is what we're finding out from Woj. Over this entire year, we're finding more and more reasonings for why he's not, but why he basically, you can see he has nothing to do with the Lakers. He has no inside sources with the Lakers. He doesn't know what he's talking, like he's getting it from everywhere else, and every chance he can to slander the Lakers' name and who they are is what he's doing, and that's a problem. That's not what an insider does, and that's the only issue I have with Adrian Wojnarowski. It's a problem. It's terrible. Dahir769, tell me how Caruso isn't ready for the NBA. We talked about it a little bit to here. I think he is ready. I think he can be a backup point guard, maybe the third point guard at the very least. However, he's not ready to be a number one guy, and he's ready to come off the bench. I think what we're seeing from when Caruso was playing big minutes with the actual players, with like Ingram and Kuzma and LeBron and Lonzo, or no, Lonzo really wasn't up, but when he's up in that situation, he doesn't play as well. He's not the same guy. When he's with Muscala and Jonathan Williams and Jamario Jones, yes, he's playing much better. Trick cards. Woj's tweets were definitely out of line. He is supposed to be unbiased when delivering insider news. Exactly. C Notorious, 31 shots for KCP. What the exact? It's crazy. It's crazy. He has the greenest of green lights I've ever seen in my lights. He just shoots. John Cena DuPont, why did ESPN LA 710 choose to go all local tomorrow? Don't you guys want to hear Stephen A. Smith yell for 2 hours about Magic and Pelinka? We chose to go all local tomorrow because it's the right move. And also, Stephen A. is not on tomorrow, so it's the right move to cover up Stephen A. And also, whoever's going to be on for Stephen A. If it was actually Stephen A., I think he would have stayed. But what you're actually seeing from now is the morning show is going to go from 6 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock in the afternoon, and then Mason in Ireland is going to go from 11 o'clock to 3 o'clock. So we're going to have a ton of Lakers coverage from Mason in Ireland. And then after that is George Sedano. It's a much better lineup, and that's the best way to go on a day like this because it was crazy today. Let's see. The Kevin Rosen preach, Greg. That's what I'm trying to do. Ash534. How true is it that Pelinka was hired as a favor to Kobe? It wouldn't surprise me. I don't know. I don't have insider information on that, but that wouldn't surprise me because that's who he is. Pup in a Cup, Nina No More says, smart move. It should have definitely been all local. It should have all been local tomorrow. Yes, and you know what? We're probably going to take phone calls, so if you want to talk to Mason in Ireland, I will actually answer phone calls for you tomorrow because it is a big day for that. Let's see. MG's Raider says, West won't come back to us because he feels dissed by the Lakers, who he loved. So sad. Jay Longshore 25. Woj's tweets confirm the Lakers fans' assumptions that he has had something personal against the Lakers. EJ Rivales. Everyone at ESPN LA radio slanders Lakers as well. It doesn't seem like a Lakers station sometimes. No. Okay, EJ, I think that's a fair point. Look, we've all come on here and said bad things about the Lakers because they deserve it. And when we say that Magic is not doing a good job, he deserves it. But we are analysts. Maybe not me. I mean, I come on here and talk to you to be a pseudo-analyst. You know, Steve Mason is an analyst. Adrian Wojnarowski is an insider. He is not a radio host. He is not a columnist. He is not giving you opinion columns. He is an insider that gives you facts. Those are not facts, and that's a problem. Okay, John Cena, okay, LOL, good explanation. Thank you. MG's Raiders. KCP is on constant heat check. That's pretty much all he is a heat check at this point. SoCal King 32. Will Trudell and MT be on it all tomorrow? And why do you hate MT? Oh, jeez. I love MT, but 2 segments. Tomorrow, I would love to have him on longer, but I just don't think he's going to be on for very long. I don't think he's going to be down there tomorrow. Robin Yeezy. Greg, have you heard from Mace or John in their thoughts? I'm positive John will look at the bright side. I mean, he probably will. But the bright side is this was the right choice for him to move. So that's probably what it is. But yeah, you'll hear all about them tomorrow. Blake St. Clair on YouTube. Most of the ESPN hosts are divas now, Mario. It's just agendas yelling at each other now. I don't totally agree with that. I think everybody has they all have their ideas and their ideals, and they have their opinions, and they're putting them across correctly. MG's Raiders. Steve Mason is punishing Lonzo for his father's misdeeds. Did you notice that, Greg? No, I didn't actually. And I think he uses eye test. And look, what we see are 2 different things. I love Lonzo. He's not the biggest Lonzo fan, but John loves Lonzo. There's a lot of, I think everybody has their opinions. And if he doesn't like Lonzo, a lot of other people are the exact same thought as him. Anthony Hernandez on YouTube. We need Trudell and Thompson show. Would love it. It's just not going to happen. Mario Enigma. You're right. Blame. Sure. M. Merchants. Taking phone calls. Let's not get carried away now. Exactly. I'm not a fan, but tomorrow's one of those days. George Santiago. How should Jeannie conduct the search? I think she would consult Magic, Kobe, and his brothers on this. I think she's going to talk to as many people as possible. She needs to actually hire somebody, an outside firm that is going to vet everybody and do this the right way. Get some real guys that have done the job before. Go through a real process and hire somebody that actually has been there and done that before, has the resume, can show you specifically things that they have done that made their teams better. It's the right way to go about things. Somebody will get that job, and David Griffin is right at the top of that list. Arno.ar, some dude with sources says Lonzo gonna ask for a trade. Look, a bunch of people are gonna say that. Everything's changing anyway. So I did not hear that. Look, a lot of that is nonsense. There's guys that have sources. There's a guy that's called I Got Sources. I don't know anything about him. I've seen his stuff. Not sure if it's real. There's a bunch of other people that I don't know too much about either that I trust. When things actually happen, I trust certain people. C. Notorious, I want the truth, not homers. Well, that's what we're getting. Yes, you want the truth. And that's what I'm trying to say. On ESPN LA, it's all truths. We try and, like, Mason tries to tell you the truth and exactly what he's hearing and what he actually believes. When I go on there, the few times that I actually speak, I tell you exactly what I think. George Sedano tells you exactly what he thinks. Keyshawn, LZ, Travis, they all give you their true opinions. And that's what a good radio host should do. Let's see. Mario Enigma, you're right, Blake's. Let's see, that's something else. ESPN Radio, Laker fans have been slandering Lakers' moves. A lot of them were bad moves, so you say they're bad moves. I don't have a problem with that. We're also not insiders. We're fans. We're analysts. We're not insiders. You're allowed to do that. You can do that. You should do that if you're not one of those people. Look, I'm gonna get aggregated by my own team. ShowtimeForum is going to aggregate the things I'm going to say. I'm going to look back at the quotes and I'm going to say that's not exactly what I said. But I'm also not an insider, so that's fine. Like, if I get aggregated, whatever, that doesn't mean anything to me. If Wojnarowski or Ramona or Chris Haynes or Bill Oram or Dave McMenamin or any of them get aggregated, they get upset a bit, Brian Windhorst, because they're insiders and they're giving you knowledge, and the knowledge that they're giving you is being misconstrued, and that's understandable. Guys like us and fans and analysts and all that, it doesn't matter. That's not a big deal. That Slug24, what do you think about Kyrie and LeBron in LA? Please, I want to hear your thoughts. All right. Kyrie, I don't think is coming to LA. I just can't see him coming back to LeBron James. It doesn't make sense to me. He left Cleveland because he wanted his own team. He went to Boston. He got traded to Boston, and now he wants to go over to New York or whatever it is. Way better move for him to do something like that and build there. I just can't see him being a guy here in LA coming back to LeBron. Just doesn't make sense to me. I would be okay with it. I'd love Kyrie, especially as an off-ball a two guard that needs the ball in his hands where Lonzo doesn't. All for it. And the Kamenetsky brothers always tell the truth too, by the way. Kevin Meteora, yes. ESPN, I Got Sources is an untouchable screen name. He gets his insider info from Reddit. Oh, see, I mean, I'm not going to believe Reddit. Sorry. Greg, 1,000 koala attacks a year in Australia, really? And why does Ireland hate... I'm not getting into any of that kind of stuff. What do you think about... Kyle? I did that already. MG's Raiders. I hope that she gets this right or we stand to be bad for many more years. Agreed. It needs to be done correctly. I wish Magic would have quit sooner. At least he did it. That's the biggest thing. Devin Johnson, what should we consider a successful season next year? You need to get into the playoffs, and you need to go deep into the playoffs. You need to get somebody in this offseason right now, and you need to get somebody, the right guy, somebody that fits in with this young team and LeBron and makes shooters. Get shooters everywhere. I think that's all very, very important. So, another one. It all needs to be done correctly over this summer. Is Magic leaving now? The silver lining to this season, if not, what is? As I think that is the silver lining. The best thing the actual silver lining is if Rob Pelinka goes too, and that would be the biggest thing. John Cena DuPont, look at the Lakers' record the last 6 years. You think we're going too hard on them? I'm not saying that. They've been going. I think you're talking to somebody else there, and it's very possible you are, and that's fine. Go ahead. Mario Enigma hired Michael Thompson for GM. LOL. Yeah, no, he ain't doing it. Juan Pablo Nike, breaking news. I'm very afraid of this breaking news. JB have Magic approval to fire Walton per Chris Haynes. Somebody get me the Chris Haynes tweet. Reported that Genie recently gave Magic permission to fire Luke. See, this is the thing. Okay. That's pretty much true. I think Chris Haynes was right in doing that. I think this, all right, we are, this looks like real news. Everything that I've been hearing, everything that people have been talking about, this is it was supposed to happen tomorrow. He was supposed to be fired tomorrow or tonight. It was done. Bill Walton went to the Laker game tonight because he was like, I want to support my son in his last game as the Lakers head coach. He wanted to be there with him. And unfortunately, we don't know if that's all still going to happen. Genie did give that, but who knows what's going to happen now, because the way that Magic Johnson put it in his press conference, his impromptu press conference, was he said now he can run the team the way it should be run. He can now coach the team the way it should be run. He did it. He said that for himself. He actually said that. So in some way, I think that's exactly what he's saying. Let's see. I got to read this. I'm not reading that. Harmella, as Chris Haynes reported that Genie, that's all true things. Lakers drama never fails. Exactly. It's kind of how it's been. I'm glad you spoke out about Woj. That's because it needed to happen. It's very frustrating to see him do those types of things. Can we get some ShowtimeForum podcast tonight too? ESPN, I think they recorded tonight, or they are recording tonight, or they already did, or something, but it will be out every Friday. ShowtimeForum podcast with Adel Del Toro and Ray El Barbone. Make sure to not miss it. Ray El Barbone, what was Magic's backstab comment all about? I think there's a lot of things. I don't know exactly what that exact comment was about, Ray. I think part of it was something that had to do with Rob Pelinka. I think Pelinka maybe outed him in some way as being a guy that's not even around the building ever. He is he's a vacant basketball operations president of basketball operations. He's not actually at the facility ever, and I think that might have been Pelinka that put that out. So maybe that's the backstab comment, or just other things that are coming out about. It could be the backstabbing of him talking to Philadelphia and being made out to be the bad guy because he did the right thing and said, am I allowed to talk to Ben Simmons? And they said no, and then he said okay. Like, it was, he all asked the correct questions and did it the right way. So no, I don't think that. I think those were the types of things that he was talking about when it meant backstabbing. So Hoodie Beasley, LOL, why does everyone still think anyone is coming? It's max, boogie, or kick salary cap again. Because now we're in a totally different world. When it was Magic Johnson and Rob Pelinka, we knew we probably weren't going to get anybody. But when you get somebody else in there, because it was a poorly run front office and nobody wanted to be there, if you have the right front office before July 1st, you're like, wow, that's a great hire in David Griffin, or that's a great hire, and you ended up you brought in Masai Ujiri. If that's the situation that happens, then things change. Look, we're in April, May, June, July. We have 3 months until July 1st when guys can be picked up. So it could very, very well still happen that somebody comes up. I get Buck at 64.53. What are the odds it's some conspiracy as to why he's stepping down? I think those are always possible odds. I just don't think it's one of the ones that are going to happen. I think he just really wants to get it. Greg, I got a real question. No troll from David. All right. I guarantee you this is a mistake, and David Portillo is just going to tell me something about Jimmy Butler or D'Angelo Russell, so please, give me your real question. Can Lakers hire Griffin now or gotta wait? I'm pretty sure they can actually... First of all, I'm shocked, David, that you gave me a real question. That's bananas that you actually gave me a real question. I don't know the ins and outs of that, but I'm pretty sure they can go ahead and go hire him right now. If they really wanted and said, hey, you are now the president of basketball operations, David Griffin, he could absolutely go ahead and be hired now. I don't see why he couldn't. It's a vacant spot. There's nobody there, and then he's going to have complete control. Whoever gets this job as president of basketball operations is going to have full and complete control. They're going to be able to do whatever they want, whenever they want, however they want. And then that means if they want to fire Rob Pelinka, they fire Rob Pelinka with no issue. El Cariza, yo, what up, Berg? What's up, El Cariza? Appreciate you. Let's see, so rude. Kevin Meteor, I think the worst case scenario would be the Magic and Rob would botch this summer's free agency pitch. That would have been a terrible situation, and it's very possible it could happen. And yes, that was a good question, David. Thank you. Arlene, DJWI, whose does foregone exult? I'm not sure what that's saying there. You got to rewrite that, Arlene. Gorgeous Nate, just something fun to think about. Who do you think Jeannie Buss called first tonight? I think she called Magic right away. And then after that, she called David Griffin and said, hey, we got an open spot here. You want to take this job? So that's what I'm hoping, at least. Come on, Greg. Magic is not a victim here. This man called out the core to be pros in February. Nothing professional about this. I'm not actually saying... Oh, wait, I think we're getting misconstrued here. This is a part of the league. You've got a good side of the business that we get paid to be professional basketball players, and there's deals like this. Look, Magic is not... No one's calling Magic a victim here. There's never been any point where I said I feel bad for Magic Johnson or anything like that. The only thing that I've actually said here is that he needed to step down. He did the right thing by stepping down. This was the wrong job for him. So, Ray, I know you like being combative, but this is the wrong choice to be combative. I've not said anything along those lines. Crossing my fingers, the Lakers bring in a guy with actual front office experience. NBA Showtime 16, totally agree with you. Let's see. Juan Pablo Nike, give David Griffin a 10-year Gruden-like deal. You know what? Something's got to work. George Santiago, Woj lost sources in Lakers. That's why he was out of the line. Haynes is connected with LBJ camp that wants Luke gone, so he posted the new report. Hard to take insiders' words as gospel. Agree with you, George Santiago. And this is something that I've talked about a bunch on this very postgame many times, is that when you are listening to these insiders, they all have guys that they listen to. They all have sources, every one of them, and they're all different. And when you actually hear what they're saying, you can actually pinpoint who their sources are by what they're saying. And yes, Chris Haynes' sources very much is somebody that's anti-Luke or something, because it's... But who he's embedded with all makes sense. You can tell when somebody's embedded with Magic Johnson. You can you know that Woj has no sources inside the Lakers organization, so he says things because he doesn't actually get that, and he hurts them, and he tries to. And when he says positive things about San Antonio, it's because he has sources inside San Antonio. So it's all about understanding having the nuance of understanding who it is that's going to be, who they're getting their information from. Bro Walton, how long before the new guy gets hired? It could be, it's really up in the air. This came out of nowhere. I had not heard even an inkling of any of this stuff, and I'm around this all day long. None of this. It was anywhere near. It was a complete and utter shock. I said I was out to dinner, and I looked up at the TV, because there was TVs everywhere. I was getting crab. I was actually breaking crab with my hands and using those things to cut and break them open. And all of a sudden I look at the TV and it says Magic Johnson just resigned. I was shocked. I had to stop everything. Everything. I took off the gloves. I took off the bib and started typing away on my phone to everybody. It's crazy. Who's my favorite insider, Robin Yeezy? Ramona Shelburne. And it's not because we're friends. It's because she doesn't say anything usually unless she knows 100%. And when she says it, it's been vetted. And she's gotten 2, 3, 4 different sources. All like that. It wasn't the boiling crab. It was called the Krabby Crab, actually. Thank God Magic doesn't make decisions on the Dodgers side. Hoodie Beasley, absolutely. He's talking about the Dodgers, though. Miss J Love 100, not enough information to pass judgment on Magic yet. Nope. MG's Raiders, Griffin has to be the guy. Lakers have money, break the bank and get him. I think Griffin is the guy. I think it just makes the most sense. Magic did all he could. LBJ is toxic. Only stood LBJ for 9 months. Given quality, look, I think there was some miscommunication between just in the upper management itself. I don't believe it was between Magic and Jeannie. I don't. I think they're so close, but I think they had a difference of opinions. I think Jeannie said, "All right, look, Magic, I'm giving you all the control." But I think there's something else there with Rob Pelinka, because in his press conference, his impromptu press conference, not one word about Rob Pelinka saying anything positive. Someone asked him a question about Rob Pelinka, and he put it right on Jeannie. He's like, that's Jeannie Buss's job to decide, which is not a good endorsement whatsoever. Given quality, Team LBJ are the backstabbers Magic was referring to. Look, it's all possible. Premier BI, per source, Magic's replacement will be hired within a month. Expect it soon. Who is that source? When you say per source, is that your source or is that somebody else? I don't know what per source means. VIP Kobe 24. Yeah, it was out of left field. I heard it on the Sedano show. Yeah, it just came out of nowhere. Nobody knew that. Blake St. Clair, first lice, now crabs, not looking good for you, Craig. I mean, those pretty similar things, but this was the Krabby Crab. It was good. It was very delicious, actually. DZ, you don't think they have to hire someone ASAP so they can make a decision on Luke and bring in a new staff and front office people? No, they make the right decisions. You have to make this is your chance to do this the correct way, to actually get the right guy in place. Juan Pablo Nikely, with many coaches in past few years and now this, at what point do we start questioning ownerships? The ownership, Jeannie Buss has been very, very clear that she is on the business side of this, and what she's doing on the business side is really strong. It is the highest, I believe, the #1 television contract in the NBA. The most lucrative television contract in the NBA is the Lakers. So I think that's Jeannie Buss and the people that she gets along with and the relationships that she builds. So I have nothing bad to say about that. She gave the basketball side to other people because that's not her forte. So now I think she's going to start giving it to somebody else that actually has the acumen that has done it before. And David Griffin, again, KB Calsey, David Griffin seems like a good option. All of it. Sources, I got sources. Okay, so Pat Riley's not moving anywhere. Anthony, my boy, says Lakers will make playoffs, sign a tier 2 star, start small trade, we good. George Santiago, Lakers should have had a replacement by the lottery combine. Obviously, we need somebody to evaluate prospects. Yes, they're going to have somebody in mind. You have some time. You have plenty of time to get to the right point. So just make the right choice. And within a month is enough time. Very much. This is kind of why it's kind of BS what Magic did. Because you're expecting to not have somebody else in this position in June. And now all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I got to start all over. So yes, you have a month to get that. But whoever the GM is going to be, you got to believe that they're already involved with all of this. They're already seeing all these prospects. They've already been vetting all these guys. They're not just sitting in the couch being like, oh, hey, look, the Lakers job came open. Maybe I should start doing some background research. No, they already know the background research. I'm going way over an hour here, by the way, people. So I shouldn't. It's the last show of the year for the Lakers, so I'm pretty much going long. And this was such a big one. I'm just going to keep talking for a little bit longer. I don't know how much longer, but just for a little bit longer. Mario Enigma, hope so, Blake Sinclair. Yeah. Hoodie Beasley, I don't mind Luke staying as long as his coaching staff is full of more experienced people. Agreed, bring in new guys. You need some new blood in there. That Slug 24, kind of scary. All this drama in LA might scare away stars, don't you think? No, because if I think now this is the right thing, now you have guys that are going to start thinking, okay, they have the right pieces in place in the front office, and they have a good, strong culture and winning. I think this is now a good place to be if you are a player. It all changes. I think this is a big, strong move for the Lakers moving forward just because of what we're seeing. Papa JK Money, a LeBron for Tatum, Rozier, and 2 first-rounders. LeBron's not going anywhere. Given quality, Riley can't stay awake at Heat games, let alone come back to Lakers. He's fine. Long Short 25. Hey, Greg, appreciate your grinding and out the entire season and hanging with us. Go Lakers. Hey, go Lakers. We're all fans, right? We're all people that just want to talk Lakers, and that's what this is all about. Bro Walton. I mean, Magic took Wagner over way better fits for this roster. He overruled their pick. They wanted Omari Spellman. So, look, Wagner looks like he's going to be a good player. I have no problem with Wagner there, and he's a shooter. He was a big, long stretch 5. So I can't really say too much about that. And he can shoot. So, and he's showing you some of the moves that he has. Wagner could be a good player. Caustic 187, you've already covered this, but just got a Bleacher Report update saying Magic had authority to fire Luke after Luke didn't wish to beef up his staff. Yep, that was all there. Get out of the closet, Michelle. Bring the water. Grandma, more tots. Do you think that Magic created a toxic environment? No, I don't. I think Rob Pelinka is actually the one that created the toxic environment, and because he was just hated by everybody, and Magic needed to go. Maybe it's because I think a lot of that, it's all up there. I think Rob Pelinka is the big man on that. We appreciate you for the OT. Appreciate you, ESPN Radio fan. C. Jinka, need to have Ramona on all day tomorrow. She's going to come in. She will be in with Mason and Ireland. It's when she's available. She's got a lot of stuff going on, so whenever she can, she will come in. The Hugo Morales, who are a couple candidates to become president of basketball operations. I think it begins and ends with David Griffin. I think you can throw money at guys like Masai Ujiri and R.C. Buford and Daryl Morey and Sam Presti and I'm blanking on the guy's name in Portland. I think he does a good job. I'm blanking on it right now, but there's a bunch of guys you can actually throw it out to. It's just I think the right choice, I'm going to say it over and over again, is David Griffin. Pete Zayas for GM, O'Shea for president. There you go, Blake St. Clair. Tan Marino 13, driving home from game, weird juju behind bench tonight. Magic move increase core chances of staying intact or opposite. Also, Lonzo was Magic's guy, gotta affect his security on the team, right? I don't know. I don't think so. I think that there's a lot of different. I think that you're trying to keep the core together, and it really depends on who they're going to bring. I think that the core staying intact may be more of a possibility than before, because whoever's going to come in is going to want to be with that core team. It's going to be their team at this point. So I think that's a much better way to go about that. Do I think that Lonzo was Magic's guy? Lonzo was Magic's guy. I think that he's you could see what type of guy Lonzo is, and I don't think they're going to give up on him after 99 games. He hasn't even played 100 games and just hasn't gotten there yet. Need to fire Gunnar Pearson too. Most likely SoCal King 32. I would assume that he's going to be gone too. I don't see why he wouldn't be. Hugo Morales, thanks for your answer. I'm always happy to give it. DZ, Adel Del Toro, do you think Magic Rob meeting with Bron and Rich Paul on Saturday had anything to do with Magic decision? And do you think Rob knew about Magic decision? It's very possible. We don't know what happened inside of that meeting, and it's hard for me to speculate on something that I have absolutely no idea what happened inside of that. It's possible, but that was also Saturday, and today is Tuesday, so he had a meeting with Jeannie Buss too and didn't tell her. So I don't think that's about it just yet. That's Slug24. I'm signing off, bro. Can't wait for Mason Ireland tomorrow. Very good. You know what? On that note, I am actually going to sign off as well. But before I do, I really, really need to say thank you to everybody that is a part of Showtime Forum, a part of all the fans, all of you guys that have been here, that have been with me on postgame, night in, night out, throughout this entire year. It was a tough year, but you all came in and you all asked questions and all just were a part of the community. And it was more so like guys like Laker Facts and the Dodger Dude and LWS LA Lakers and Laker Fanatics and Laker Spin and all of the fan sites that all came together to make Showtime Forum so great. And then you have Adel Del Toro, who killed it, absolutely killed it on Twitter for it, and is going to be doing this for a much longer time. Just absolutely a great job. Rael Barbone on Instagram is doing so good. I'm getting great videos from guys like Donnie Ekbodi and I'm getting great. David Portillo is giving out great memes, and Javier or Golden Knight is doing a fantastic job. Ricardo Garcia is killing it out there. Ben Holes with his stats is fantastic. We just added in Mikhail. Mikhail was so good, making these great videos that have really been coming up over and over again. But the most important, and Devin Johnson, who came on and he was doing a great job on Twitter and on Instagram and just doing a bunch of everything. Everybody just really came together and really put it and is doing a fantastic job for Showtime Forum and building it up into what it needs to be. And this is where the community begins and ends, and everybody else that's a part of it. But the most important, the biggest part of all this, she started it with me. It was me and Michelle, and we did this together, and we started it all on our own from the very beginning at the Lakers Raw when it was that still. And just she was Instagram, and I was doing this, and she is my producer and presses every button that needs to be pressed, and gives me feedback and tells me what I'm doing wrong and what I'm doing right, tells me how I sounded good and how I sounded bad. Without her, I could not have done any of this. The support that she's giving me to even let me sit here and talk to you guys on a nightly basis about Lakers or Dodgers or whatever it is. Without Michelle, I could not do any of this. So honestly, she is the real MVP, Rael Barbone. So thank you for everything that you have done, Michelle. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I love you. I couldn't have done anything without you. So that's going to be it for me for the season, for Lakers Raw, or sorry, That was awful. For Showtime Forum, that is the end of Showtime Forum for the season. Showtime Forum podcast is still going to be going on. Rael Barbone and Del Toro, they're going to be doing it. I'm still going to come on here every once in a while and give you guys updates about what the biggest things are and having these conversations with you guys. I'm still going to be doing Dodgers throughout the year, and that's going to be a much bigger thing that I'm hoping to announce tomorrow, actually, about how it just got bigger. And I will be out there. Please follow me at Bergman Greg on Instagram and on Twitter, and I love talking to everybody on Twitter. This is all going to just get bigger and bigger and bigger. I will be back. I don't know when exactly. When big things happen, we'll be talking more Lakers, but Dodgers will always be there. Thank you guys all for being a part of Showtime Forum. I love you all. Thank you again, and we'll talk again very, very soon. I'm out of here. See ya.